routes.
Template literal is part of year 6. I talked about year 6 last week. That was where we learned. Like year 6 came to make things actually easier, because take for example, you want to log a lot of things that you have previewed function. So you now be adding plus, you put in space. If you could see this 50 here, you will see that is and 50 is actually what amalgamated together, because I didn't put a space before adding 50. So imagine you catering for that every now and then. So there's a better way to do that, and it's called template retrials. This template retrial is very, very important, that when you start writing React, you use it very, very well, because React uses a system called GDSC, JavaScript XML, where you will always, it sees every HTML within JavaScript as JSX. And JSX is passed like a template literal. So what I'm trying to say in essence is, when you want to write a template literal, the first thing you do is you write a backtick. Backtick. What is a backtick? Backtick is that symbol, like the first symbol before 1 on your keyboard. This is a backtick. So everything will go between the backtick. So when you now get to that function or anything you've declared, maybe a variable, then you will now do what we call the template literal. So this is what I'm trying to say. The answer is, now I want to say the answer is area of triangle. You know, area of triangle is the function that has been declared. So to now write that function that has been declared, you will use a $sign and you use what? These curly braces. So anything you write within these curly braces will be regarded as what? As template literal. Area of triangle. And I want to do, let me do 20 and 15 this time around. Let's see what will happen. So the answer is 150. See how it's printed it out correctly, and everything is actually what it is indented rightly. So I think this is another upgrade on how to log our answer when we have, instead of using concatenation plus the way we used to do it here, didn't still ask plus, ever right, plus yes, you can just use template literal, direct, and you get your what? You get your results. So that's another thing to chip in tonight before we go to where we are heading to. So let me take questions, observations, is what I've been saying all this while. I hope it is clear. So let me have our opinions on what we've learned so far. So the floor is us. From us. Hello. Hello. Hello.
We can hear you, sir.
Okay, so I asked the question. Are we clear? Do you have any doubts to clear from what we've learned so far?
Please take it back to your code.
Okay, here is my code. What do you want to ask? So I'm listening to your question. I'm back to the code. What do you want to ask? Yeah, I can. I can. You said? Does it go for what?
If I'm not using console.log.
It goes for everything. Template literal is a universal concept. It's not. It doesn't necessarily mean what you are using in document.write. Just anything. Even within React, I talk of React. In React, when you want to log something out, you put everything within a div. So if you are not using a div, maybe you just want to return something, you just put it within template literals and you get your result. So it's a universal concept. It works for document.write. So any other question before we move on to today's session? So in the absence of question, I think we can go back to our notes and take what we have. We want to delve into a very vital concept of programming generally. In any programming language, you will learn array and you learn objects. So let's first take array. Arrays. Arrays are fundamental concepts in JavaScript that you're gonna use throughout your entire JavaScript life. In previous lectures, we have assigned different variables for random data and people's inputs. Imagine how enviable it would be to bundle them into one single variable. Luckily for us, in JavaScript, we have array to cater for that. They are a collection of variables that can even have different data types. Enough of this prologue. What really are arrays? According to Mozilla Developer Network, arrays are list-like objects. Use prototype as methods to perform traversal and rotation operations. Neither the length of a JavaScript array nor the type of its elements are fixed. Since an array's length can change at any time, and data can be stored at non-contiguous locations of the array, JavaScript arrays are not guaranteed to be dense. This depends on how the programmer chooses to use them. In general, these are convenient characteristics. But if these features are not desirable for your particular use, you might consider using typed arrays. So to be more explicit, array is a single variable that is used to store different elements. It is often used when we want to store list of elements and access them by a single variable. Unlike most languages where array is a reference to the multiple variable, in JavaScript, array is a single variable that stores multiple elements. So now that we are acquainted with what arrays are, how then can we declare or initialize an array? There are basically two ways to declare an array. See snippets below to learn more. So to declare an array, I told us that array is just you having elements that are related or they are disjointed that you want to save in just a single container. So let's go to our VS Code and explain the two basic ways to declare an array. Is either we do it this way or we declare it this way. So let's use the both and see what will be the result. So to declare array in JavaScript, what you just need, let's say for example, I want to take names of maybe players in a football club. So that's a lot of elements, and I want to save those elements in a single container. I'll just say, let's say, let player name equals. So to declare an array, you just need these square brackets. By using this square brackets, you've told JavaScript to initialize an array. So now let's pass the elements that we take up this square bracket. We learned data type. So if you want to pass a string, you know how to pass a string. You take string. Let's say we have a lot of players, maybe a player in Real Madrid, PSG, what have you. We have Hakimi. We have Neymar. We have Mbappe. We have Di Maria. So let me just stop this way. So I've passed 1, 2, 3, 4 elements. Every of these is saved inside this container named player name. So let's test. Let's see if what we are doing is right. Console.log player name. See now, I told it to give me player name, and it returned what? Hakimi, Neymar, Mbappe, Di Maria. By so doing, with what? And see this thing, we will use this a whole lot to explain, and this is another thing to take note of. You see, by seeing Hakimi, you see 0 beside Hakimi. You see 1 beside Neymar. You see 2 beside Mbappe. You see 3. And it said the length is 4. So I will explain that when we learn the second way to initialize an array. So the second way to initialize an array is for you to say, let's take maybe years, like years, just random years. So let's say random years equals, I want to declare an array. But instead of saying this, we now say new array. So we will now write what we want. We want to take years. Let's say 2013, 2013, 2019, 2023, 1898. So let's return random years. Let me disable this. So you see, we have 2013, 2019, 2023, and 1898, and the similar thing we add here is here. So you can declare array by using this or by using the second method. By so doing, we've started and we've learned what arrays are, how to declare an array. So that because in our JavaScript learning. So we'll try to explore that now after knowing how to declare an array. So note from the above illustration, array of two types and are best assigned to a variable. Arrays are housed by square braces or normal parentheses, that is square braces for the first type of declaration and parentheses for the second type as illustrated above. Array entries are separated by commas and entered with data types convention. Strings should be written as one and etc. Keyword, arrays housed by square braces should be given higher preference as it follows best practices. So if you want to declare array, the best practice is this first one. This one. This one is,
Hello.
you can use it, but it's actually.
Hello, I have a question.
I can.
Can you go back to your PS4, please?
Back.
Alright, so I noticed how you wrote the new array and you have a space in between. I think I just noticed that. So must one write it that way? Or would it be
Yeah,
different?
that's how you write it. Because new is the keyword on its own. Array is a keyword on its own. So this is how you write it.
Okay, thank you.
See, if let me remove the space. You see that it's no more like the method again. Just any other get.
Alright.
So let me put the space. You see now this one is what? New array constructor. See, array is constructor expecting items.
Alright,
So that's
thank
it.
you.
You're welcome. So he said I don't know, you're actually not audible enough. I thought it was from my side, but I could see
Okay,
that
I
when
say
you
which
speak,
one?
maybe
Which one? Can you hear me now?
yeah, I can.
Okay. Then which one do you think is the best out of
Yeah. This is the best, the first one, this one, the one I highlighted. So that's the best way to declare an array. So are we good to go?
Yes.
which one
Yeah.
do you think?
So I said the first one is the best. This one I highlighted, this one. Yeah. Now, okay, we are taking in data. Like you can now organize our data, a lot of data, maybe within an array, get it. So what is the essence of you having a data? I think it's for us to use the data, right? So to use the data, you should know that one thing at the back of your mind is how can I have access to each element that I've said or that I've passed into an array. So what we want to learn now is how can I get elements from my array? And the next thing we have array methods. We see a lot of interesting stuff within array tonight. So, and I want us to hold on to those concepts because they cost a fortune. It is what we use in your whole lifetime with JavaScript. So, let's talk more work. Let's learn how to get our array, how to access our array. So I want to access my array. You know, I was showing us something the other time that while we log player name and random years to our console, you saw something that said 0, that assigned 0 to Hakimi, 1 to Neymar, 2 to Mbappe, and 3 to Di Maria. But you still now saw another message that said the length is 4. What's the meaning of that? It actually has a connotation. The meaning is that Hakimi occupies the 0th position in this declaration. Neymar occupies the first, Mbappe the second, and Di Maria the third. You get my point? So, because JavaScript is a zero-based system in the sense that it starts counting from 0. Whenever you want to do anything, you need to take that into cognizance. So that's why Hakimi is actually the first, but in JavaScript it is 0th element. Neymar will be the first, Mbappe the second, Di Maria the third. But that is now telling us that those forget, because this one is 0, this one is 1, this one is 2, this one is 3, doesn't mean that the length of this array is 3. It's actually 4 because we have 4 elements. But the position that each occupies in the memory is what? 0, 1, 2, 3. So to now access each or any of these data, what you just need to do is to call the parent name or the variable name or the container name, then with a square bracket, and you put which of the number you want to the value that is stored within it. This is what I'm trying to do. The constant retrieve name. We let it equals. Now I want to retrieve data from a variable name player name. I will write the variable player name. Square brace. Then which position do I want to go to? If I put 0, it will give me a key. If I put 1, it will return Neymar. If I write 3 or 2, sorry, it will give back Mbappe. And if I write 3, it will give me the Maria. Let me just test something random. I put 2. And now console.log this. Retrieve name. Let me use I want to tell this to ask is this okay, this prompts, this is what I want to disable. So let's go back and refresh our page. You see now, what can you find on line 184? I saw Mbappe. What's the meaning of Mbappe? Because I called the player name, but I said what I want to return from this whole bunch of data is the second one. But the second one is actually the third one. So I think we need to understand that 0 base is not something that is complex, it's very simple. But the second one, this is what this is exactly. So if I want to log the first one, I'll just put 0, and you see it giving me back team. So this is that queen here. So that's brilliant. That's how you retrieve your data from an array, and that has been done. Okay, let's explain some things here. Just note. So array elements can be accessed by calling the variable name of such array and intend to adding the index of the intended entry in a square bracket after it, e.g. name 0 to get the first element in the array. So arrays are 0 based, that is, the first element is considered the 0th element. Counting starts from 0. Invariably, to access the fourth element, you have to assign an index of 3 to the variable name. So let's briefly talk about updating array entries, mutation, mechanism. Okay. So the next thing we want to learn now is we already have an array of player names. Take for example this January transfer window. A player just joined the club and wants to update our database. So how can we do that? It's very, very simple. What I meant by very simple is just for you to call the variable name and assign to it. Maybe you have 30 players in the club, for example. You know, the person joining now will be the 31st player. And with 0 base, the 31st player will be on the 30th index using a 0 base system of JavaScript. So to now save the new player into this 31st spot, which is the 30th spot using 0 base, what I will need to do is what I'll call player name. I'm going to console everything once. Player name, and I'll just put what I'll put start equals say Ramos. Let me see this. So let's now see now. So
Sorry, I don't understand.
you don't understand. Okay, this is what I'm saying. I said a player just joined our club, and it's with what we have, we already have 30 players. So, and the new player that is joining will be the 31st person. You know, the 31st person with 0 base will be holding the 30th index. So, and I want to say it's okay, we have a new player. All the player names variable. Which position do I want to get this person assigned to? 30, because it's 31st person. What is the person's name? Ramos. So what I did the other time was to bring this retrieve name back down, because JavaScript runs everything synchronously. You get? So it starts from up to down. If this const is up before the player name, then if you actually not get that, something has been updated. Get that point. That's what I did the other time. So let's now check here. This is telling me that I have 0. On the 0th spot, I have Hakimi. On the 1st, I have Neymar. 2nd, I have Mbappe. 3rd, I have Di Maria. And on the 30th position, as we want, I have Ramos. But the length of the array is 31. This JavaScript is lying. How is it now 31? It's actually 31. Because with what I did, what JavaScript we have in mind is I have 31 different positions. But I just have people occupying the 0th, 1st, 2nd, 3rd. Between 4th and 29th, I have not updated it, but it's already on ground. You get it? It has created those positions. So the 30th person now in our list is what? Is Ramos. So, and the length of the array is 31. So to write something that we can actually see that will be interesting, let me just pass 4th. Where we have 0, 1, 2, 3. So when I pass 4, Ramos will actually get what? Get to the 5th, like that. So now 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the length is 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can now what? We can see it that way. So coming. Unsure something here. So that the player name that I just logged here has Ramos, but the one that was here doesn't have Ramos because what? Because of what I explained earlier on, that the way JavaScript has something. So it was after this one that I told it to update the array. It updated it and added Ramos. So let's see the other time we add 30. Let's see what's up. Now, Hakimi, Neymar, Mbappe, Di Maria. We have 26 empty times 26 empty spaces. Then we have Ramos. See how brilliant JavaScript is. We said, okay, this 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 31st. So I will have what 26 left, and everything is done. So what we're learning now, I'm trying to break everything down so that when you want to use all these features, you know what to do at a particular point in time. Let me see what's next we need to do. I think array method system. I have anything here. No. We go to MDN to learn array methods. So one last thing here is you can mutate a what? An element within an array. Take for example, Mbappe has left our club for Real Madrid and we sign another player to actually fill his void. You know, this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, Mbappe is 2. So we want to replace Mbappe with another person and we want the person to take his spot. I'll just say player name. The spot is actually what? He's taking the second spot. I will tell the new player that he wants to take the spot. Maybe Haaland. So let's see what's up. You see now, we now have Hakimi, Neymar, Haaland, Di Maria, empty spaces, 26 arounds. So that's a lot for you. It's
Hello.
one of the brilliant concepts. Hello.
Okay, so basically, arrays are, I think,
Yeah.
mutable, right? Because you said, unlike strings or something like that, they are not mutable, right? Like you can change a particular I don't know, you can change something in an array. I don't know how to put it. Like arrays are mutable. Right.
Yeah, they are mutable. So any other thing? So I think let's move to array methods. So JavaScript now has a standard method. What like operations you can perform on your array. And where we are heading to tonight, you really love what JavaScript have in store for us on this because we will use all these methods every now and then. So let me go to, let's say, in W3 school, we go to W3 school, array methods. Yeah. So I just want to see where we stop tonight. So that's what I'm going to do. Delete margin, delete values. I think we should just stop tonight at on shifts. Those are the basic ones. So we stop at shifts tonight. So coming. Another one I need year 6. 6 array methods. Okay. So
Sorry, is Mubarak still there? Or is it my network? Sorry, I didn't get that. Sorry, Moses. Oh,
I'm hearing you, but I can't hear us.
I think he's back. I think he has problems with his network. Yeah, Mubarak, what's up? Oh, can anyone hear me?
Hey, my mic is muted since I've been talking all this while.
Oh,
Sorry.
right.
Hello, can you hear me now? Wow.
Yeah, I can.
So what I was saying is that, sorry. So we want to learn various ways we can
Can't hear you.
manipulate
It's breaking up. Though.
a variable name. What's happening with it? Hello, am I audible enough? Can you hear me clearly, please, before I move on?
It's breaking up.
Wow.
I think he has a problem with his network. All right, pending the timing returns. Can anyone hear me? I want to disseminate something.
I can't hear you, boss.
All right,
Yes, I can.
all right. Okay, so apologies about last week. I think I wanted to fix last week Friday for a tech talk session. So I don't know if it will be possible for you guys because I think I should have a free Friday night tomorrow. So possibly to take you guys through GitHub, how to use GitHub. So more or less like if in case you are given any task, so it will be easier. I think it will be easier for Mubarak to be able to view the guys' code. So in case you are given any task, you'll be able to push to GitHub, then you'll be able to review you guys' codes from there. So at least from there you can start getting used to Git repositories. So we have different Git repositories. We have GitHub, we have the GitLab, and so on and so forth. So my point is, I don't know if tomorrow will be okay for you guys to rush you guys through GitHub, how to operate on GitHub, how to use GitHub.
Tomorrow is good for me.
Okay.
Tomorrow isn't good for me, but maybe Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah, no. The
What time
problem now
tomorrow?
is
If tomorrow.
Hello, I think I'm back now.
okay. Continue. Thanks.
Should be better now.
All right.
Okay. So what I was trying to say in essence the other time was that we have various ways we can manipulate our arrays. So one of the method we want to learn now is how to convert our arrays to strings. We have arrays, each element in each spot. We now want to print everything just like a single text. So how to do that? We have a method called toString. So here, our player name is a variable. So I will call that variable, I'll just tell it toString. Let me call this
I
variable
can't see your
toString.
screen.
I have not shared it yet. I will share it now. So I think it's clear now. Can we see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So I said I called this variable player name and I said toString. So let me save this in a new container. Let's string variable equals to this. So let me console.log. This is the string defined. Variable string. So line 181, let's see what's happening. You see now, this is the stringified variable. Hakimi, Neymar, Mbappe, Di Maria. It's printed everything once as a single text. That's just the method that we learned. But to just do that, you just say anything to what with strings. So now, another thing we can do string also, but in this way you can add a separator. You see all these things we are learning, you see all this challenge, JavaScript challenge, where you take this, you need to maybe the first two elements should turn to the last two elements, the last three elements should come to the first you get. So that's how you cater for all those kind of scenario. So what we want to do here now is we want to join them together. So string means we just collected everything, even with the commas, and we printed everything just like a string. But to join together is if we collect this first one, second one, third one, and fourth one, and we join everything together. So let's try that one. Let me just copy this. You see, I'll change the variable name and variable player to explain. So I want to have a separator. What I want to separate them with is let me use maybe the percent. So let me copy this. Let me paste this. I change the variable name here. Join variable. So let's see what's up. Where is it? So you see now, Hakimi, Neymar, Mbappe, Di Maria. So if I added space here, it will help me add the space, and that will make sense for me. See how we are manipulating. That's how you manipulate data. Now, this is the joint array. Hakimi slash Neymar slash Mbappe slash Di Maria. So that's how you join it. You've joined everything, every single element within the array, and join them together. So that's another method. So next thing, let me see what next can we perform. Yeah, So we now want to go to the custom methods, array methods in JavaScript. We have 4 or 5, if I'm not mistaken. We have pop, we have push, we have shifts, we have what? We have on shifts. Yeah, pop, push, shifts, and on shifts. So that those 4, let's learn them. What is pop? What is push? What is push? What is on shifts? Easy. The meaning of pop is that is a method used to manipulate array or to remove the last element from an array. Maybe you are performing a logic that whenever my user save this, so I want a privacy policy for our user that we don't want their data, or we just want to use this data to perform some operation. So after saving this into maybe an array that I've created, then help me remove it afterwards, maybe after logging and stuff like that. So to do that kind of or perform that kind of operation, what we need to do after those loadings, whenever this is loading or this has finished loading, what you do is what? Help me pop out from our database what this user's what this user login detail. So this is what I'm trying to say. We want to remove a player here from our listed players. So what I will need to do is what? To just call the player name. I'll just say player name player name dot what dot pop. Tells you what is the method. Let's see. So let's return player name here. Let's see what's up. I want to pop out a bit how. You see now, this is line 189. After popping out, we now have Hakimi, Neymar, Mbappe. So we now have Hakimi, Neymar, what? Neymar and Mbappe. It has removed. It has removed what? I'm on. It has removed what? It has removed one element here. This line 189. Now about Hakimi, Neymar, what? Neymar and Mbappe. It's only 3 people now. You see Hakimi, Neymar, Haaland, and what? And Ramos. So this is what we have left now. So. I've popped out the last data. So it's not something. But you use every now and then. The next thing now,
I can't see your screen.
so now I can take this data also. So yeah, what I'm trying to say in essence is, as I say this player name dot push.
Let's be this guy name.
What do I want to push? I want to push. You see now, I said items, the string. So I want to push something. What do I want to push? I want to push a goat inside. Let's see what's up.
The good.
You see now, instantly we have Hakimi, Neymar, Mbappe, and what? And Messi. So as simple as that. So it's actually what it occupied the last. You see, every of my array got updated instantly. So that's the beauty of JavaScript. You see now, and even this data set, joint array, Hakimi, Neymar, Mbappe, and what? Messi joint. So that's how you modify your array. So the next one you want to learn is we have shifts and unshifts. This one used to sound somehow confusing
I just want to
because
say,
shift removes the first element and unshift adds to the first position. Shift is just the opposite of pop. Pop removes the last element, but shift what removes the first element. Push updates the last element. Unshift updates what it adds to the first element. So this is what I'm trying to say. So if I want to shift a data, I want to remove this first person. Akemi is no more. Akemi don't go for our form. So player name dot what dot. I want to shift it. Let me shift it. Shift. So let's see the player name that will be logged on line 182. You see now, we only have Neymar, Mbappe, Messi. So Akimi is now what is on international duties. So that's the way you use what you use shift. So as Akimi don't go for international like this, like for AFCON. So I want to add someone to his spot, like someone to replace him. So I'll just say what player name dot on shifts. So who want to replace Akimi like this? And Akimi na defender. Me and also a big player. So let me just put Paredes.
Bernat.
Hello, hope I'm clear. Bernard, so thank you. I don't put Paredes. I know the Paredes now midfielder. You run am like that. So Bernard, let's see what's up. So you see now, Bernard has taken the first position. So those are the power of array. See, so on shift. So we've done this before. Array.length. Yeah, delete. To delete, like you want to delete the pattern. So you see now, there's a caution here with delete. Delete works actually, but it's good to just pop or shift. Because you see now, it says using delete leaves undefined holes in the array. You know, when you delete, you just delete the element, the spot still remains. But when you pop,
thank you.
you don't remove the spot, you don't remove the element. So if you pop, you remove and you ignore what the last element and its position. And when you shift, you remove the first element and that position. So your array.length will not be affected. But when you delete, the length will still remain the same and the element will be missing. Because the meaning of delete is just deleted. You can actually what? You can retrieve it back. So let's just try to demo it. So you have operation that you can actually what? Use them. Let's say you want to delete a player, maybe Di Maria, it's not part of our starting line now. Just say player name. That's what delete. Delete. So what are we deleting? We want to delete 0, 1, 2, 3. The third what? The third element. So let's see what's up. I know this will not work. I know. Cannot be parties of define. This is not how to declare it. You see from the he said I will write delete and I will tell the point to delete. So I want to delete. Delete from what player name. So I think I can correct now. So let's see what's up. Yeah. So you see now empty. That's what I was talking about. It just deleted it. Array.length is still what? It's still 4. And we have 3 elements. So you just remove actually what? Remove the element, but the position is still there. But the other time we use pop and we use what? And we use shift. The array.length was reduced. So I think The best way and best thing to do is to what? Is to use pop shift. So let's see another thing. Yeah, concat. It's a very good thing. We can merge two arrays together. Maybe we have array of girls, array of boys, as explained here. So to now concatenate two arrays, we want to merge two arrays together. We can do that. So and it's giving us clue to do it here. Maybe we have, let me just replicate this. To V, and to maybe this one. I think I know the of color of players in Arsenal. Let's say Arsenal youths. Arsenal youths. So Balogun, Beret, Map, we have this guy. So introduce. We still have senior players. So two arrays together that okay, our full squad. So let what equals what Arsenal youth. Let me see how they use it. So as a developer, I used to say it. You don't use your brain as a storage. I use this every now and then. I will still go and look at it if I'm not sure. Control V. Let me now onto the log. So
I think the
this
screen is frozen.
one.
I think the screen is frozen.
He said, wow,
Screen is frozen on this end.
I don't get why.
I don't know why.
It's working here.
It just started working now.
Hope you can see my screen now.
Yeah, I can see it now. It's functioning now.
Okay. Yeah, so I want to say the full squad is so full squad. Let's now see. You see now, the full squad is Balogun, Beret, Omar, Reki, Saka, Odegaard, ESR, Martinelli. So you collected data from two different arrays and we outputted it on one single line. So I think we are doing well. We can make 3 arrays. You see now, you just put the first one, comma the second one. So that's as a developer, you need to read documentations. So what I'm teaching you, I cannot teach everything, but I can just show you what to do. Yeah, this splice, let me explain it to us. I want to add new items to an array, and we use what? We use splice to also remove. So let's see this one. So we want to add elements to the array. So with what? With splice. You see what they explained here? They said splice method can be used to add new arrays to an array. This same splice can also be used to remove. So how can we use splice to add? So they said the first parameter 2 here defines the position where new elements should be added to be spliced in. The second parameter 0 defines how many elements should be removed. So if I put 0 here, it will not remove any elements. And if I put 2 here, the second spot, that's the third spot like that. So the apple here will be removed and will be replaced. You get my point? So the first parameter will now be lemon 2, we define the new element to be added. So it's now the what? Lemon 2. This is what I'm trying to say. Let me show you here and you see their results. See here now, they said constant fruit, banana, orange, apple, mango. This is the array. Fruit does splice 2, 0, lemon, and what? And kiwi. You see now, it's now added lemon and kiwi in the position after what? After the 0, 1, 2. Let's try it so that it will be clear. This one they are trying to say. Let me just pick senior players now. I want to splice it. So the senior players would splice. I want to add 2 new members. I'm not deleting anything. So the two new members I want to add like I said. Let me see how it's done. Like I said, okay, there will be comma. So comma like I said. The comma who again? Comma. Okay. I want to add senior players. So this needs to consider plug. Let's see, 189. Ooh. Yeah, 189. You see now, we have Saka, Odegaard. So, you know, the person here occupying this third position before, if you check well from our code, is ESR. That's Smith Rowe. So, he now removed this ESR and now replace, I added 2 new elements. You get my point? So, that's how you splice in the new data, splicing in new. So, we use this based on what you are writing, what you want to do, the operation you want to perform. So, that's how you do this. So, this same splice can also be used to delete. How? You know, here we said add 2 new data, but don't delete anything. So to now, okay, add data to the second spot. This is the meaning of these 2. So you can add 5 data to the second spot. It will just what? It will organize it from the second. It will make the third, fourth, fifth, everything will be ordered. So to now delete, let's see what implementary school will tell us. There is something we can do, but we need to read documentation as developers. In here now, we want to delete. With clever parameter setting, you can use splice to remove elements without leaving holes in the array. With this one, fruit does splice 0. The meaning of this 0 is that the 0th element, and how many do you want to delete after the 0 element? I want to delete 1 parameter. Now, the first parameter defines the position where new elements should be added. The second parameter defines how many elements should be removed. So you are not adding anything. That's why 0 is here. This one, how many elements should be removed? I want to remove 1. I want to remove 1. So the rest parameter I mean, they're not removed. Let's see what they are trying to say with this splice. See here now, we have banana, orange, apple, mango. So 0, 1. So if you remove this banana, I don't think we need to write it again. It's something that is actually what that is explanatory. So I don't want to bore us much on this. The last thing I want us to create is the slice method. The slice method slices out a piece of an array into a new array. This is something interesting. You have long array. You now want to cut out some portion. You can do that with slice. So this example slices out a part of an array starting from an element. So your starting point is what you will declare within the slice method. So when I add 1 here, it will be 0, 1. So my new array will now start from orange, lemon, apple, and mango. So let's do that one. I think that one. I'll do it. Let's say senior players. Slice. I want to start to calculate senior players right from A bigger. So 0, 1. So 1. Let's see. So where is it? You see now. Where is it? Come. Let me set it into a variable so that it will play it now. So you see now, it started from Odegaard, Lacazette, Partey, ESR, Martinelli. So I think that's just it. So line what? Line 191. Okay, it started from Odegaard, Lacazette, Partey, ESR, Martinelli. So to cut out. So yeah, he left out Saka because I said he should start from what? From the first element. So I think that is slice for us. We've taken a lot, so I don't want to bore us much on this. We can just go to here and read more on this. I don't want to. We are almost even done with our readings. So let me see what I have in store next for us. Objects. Objects are more or less like array. Array are even objects, just like the way it is declared. I think it will be somehow to take objects today. So let me take our opinion. Should we further our discourse, or we should just have it here, take questions? Maybe you ask us what you want us to do with what we planned, what is not clear. Let me sample our opinion. So what do you want us to do? This 10 already.
It is okay for tonight.
It's okay, no problem. So any other
Please
contrary
just share.
opinion?
No, it's all right for tonight, really, because we did a lot and I have to personally have to go over them. But then please challenges. I don't know,
Yeah,
lots
so
and
that
lots of challenges. Lots and lots of challenges.
so I'll give us challenge.
Yeah,
I think that will do better.
thank you.
So that we actually use virtually all what we've learned. So I think we've done a good job tonight. We've learned array methods, various array methods, and we were even able to learn a new thing, and that was what? That is how to use template literals. So we've done something tonight. I think we can add that to our arsenal of knowledge. So I don't know if the organizers have something for us before we call it a day. So let's hear from them.
All right, thank you, Mubarak. I appreciate it. Thanks for your time. All right, so as we were discussing the other time when Mubarak was off, so I only got to response from two persons. How many people are online now? Okay, I think I will still communicate that on the group chat. So I only got response for two persons. Wow.
I said the other time that if it on Friday, what time?
All right, definitely have that.
Like what time?
What time? We can do it same time, day 30 or 9. Or 9. Yeah, okay, let's do it 9. It could just be a 1 hour session. If we don't, you're not good with the night stuff, Abby?
No, it's fine.
All right, okay. So, anyone else? So, who's Tosin? Tosin. All right, she's not replying. All right, thank you very much. We'll see tomorrow. Yes, yeah. Thank you. I appreciate your time. Good night. Go on.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Good night.
Nice.